New business, payment of bills.
There were some questions submitted. I will be answering on behalf of Kristen. Give me a second to get to the payment of bills. Board book page 189, that might be adjusted now due to the submission of the mission statement, but there was a business solver ACA filing for $386. Is this a separate invoice? And is this not included in the EBS Gallagher fee? This is a separate invoice, as not all the schools have EBC manager print and mail information to their employees. So this basically covers the administrative fee, postage cost, etc. So it's well worth the additional $386, but it's an additional fee on top of, because it's like an elective fee.
Well, the reason I asked is it's a requirement for self-insured plans. Most schools are going to have a self-insured plan. It seems like a bit of a nickel and diming issue with EBS. It may be worth asking if they would incorporate those, because it's an annual requirement.
Yes, it goes out with your tax, with your W-2s.
Yeah. I just finished mine at work, so I know them really well. That's why I jumped off the page at me. And it may be worth a question to them for next year. Can't they absorb this? Or isn't this what a collective should be absorbing?
Kristen seemed to think a majority of it was the postage, but I will check on that.
And that probably makes sense, yeah. But
That's
everyone's going to have the same. It's just worth a question, I think, to EBS, that's all.
191 Central DuPage Hospital. This is tutoring for a hospitalized general education student. When a student is hospitalized, they work with a tutor during the hospitalization. The tutor then tries to assist with subjects and assignments from the student's classes that they're missing. This is just a little higher than usual. This student's been hospitalized a little longer than usual. The IDES unemployment, is that district reimbursement, or is the insurance? It was something that wasn't previously seen. This is a district reimbursement for claims related to COVID that fall outside of the established time period covered under House Bill 2455, which provided that Illinois employer accounts would not be charged with unemployment insurance benefits paid to workers that are directly or indirectly attributable to COVID-19. If this window is extended, we will be reimbursed for these claims.
Okay.
And then page 20, this was on the original 222, the locker room sportswear. Are these different than the other mass purchase? These masks were purchased for the spring athletes, and another order will be coming forward once we have a total count of all the students participating in the summer athletes. There are these blue masks with the Bulldogs on them that were given to each team, especially for those sports that have to wear it on the sidelines and during competition. And those were the only questions that were submitted.
Okay. So,
We need a motion.
I'm sorry, I know we're talking about money, so I just wanted to bring up one more thing that you had talked about in the beginning, so everyone's aware. The state has not paid out for EBF at all in FY21, and we are only, 10 or 11 weeks left with FY21. So I just, to your point of,
Can you articulate your acronym for our audience? When you said this.
evidence-based funding?
Thank you.
Evidence-based funding was an initiative by the state in 2016 or 2017 in order to bring up the funding of all schools, right? Schools in the state of Illinois historically for years has not met their funding obligation to the schools. And even with EBF, they're saying by 2027 we will only be meeting still 90% of our funding obligation to all Illinois schools. Right? So even when they've met their goal, they're still not at 100%. But they have not given a dime to EBF in FY21.
Yeah, we received a flat payment. I think we're receiving our regular payments, but I don't know if they contributed the additional money to raise.
Yeah, we've gotten the flat funding, just not the additional.
Correct. So we've gotten our money from the state, but like RB would historically receive an additional 80 to 110,000 each year that would compound. I don't think we've gotten an additional increase this year,
Right.
but we're still getting paid.
Okay,
Our flat fund, and we only budgeted flat.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, which was smart, because you can see the state still continues to not meet its
Right, so
obligation.
the issue would, I think
I'm just trying to.
what you're trying to reiterate is there could be a potential that we would be flat for 2 possible years. Because if they don't do any additional money this year
Right.
and they don't do any additional money next year, we would be flat for 2 years.
Right, to your point of what is the state's reaction gonna be to all of the federal monies
That's
that
why,
are
like,
being
as much as we have all these ideas.
It's a slippery slope right
Correct.
now.
That's why we can't just rush to use the ESSER funds because it may be used just to offset traditional operating expenses. Some of it has to be dedicated to learning loss, which is some of the stuff I've suggested tonight.
Right.
But a portion of that may have to be used for traditional operating expenses,
Right,
just to reopen school in a normal fashion.
right. I think I just want people to be aware of the fact of the funding formulas for the state of Illinois and how it just continues to be inadequate.
All right, so you're going to read the
Yes, I will.
payment of bills.
Now. The Board of Education, Township High School, District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the payment of bills as presented in the April 13th, 2021 Board Agenda Packet. I need a second, please.
Second by
By Tom.
Tom.
All right, that's the roll call vote.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.